Hey friends, Jordan Woods Robinson here from AMC's The Walking Dead and Blue Man Group, and this is PopXcast, where science fiction meets pop culture. We're a geek podcast for geek culture, so are you ready to get your geek on? Sit back, relax, grab some gluten-free, non-GMO popcorn, and let's dive into the world pop culture bliss.
And I want to remind everybody on this episode of PopXcast, we cover highlights from this past week's San Diego Comic-Con International, discuss announcements, news, panels, and more. We talk trailer reveals, release dates for upcoming shows and movies, and even share our thoughts on news from around the con and pop culture world in general. So stay tuned, PopX is coming to you.
I'm Metal Matson from Super Geeky Playdate, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network. Just like the show you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual host. Check out all other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You are listening to PopXcast, where science fiction meets pop culture.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
PopXcast.
Hasta la vista, baby.
By the power of Grayskull, Autobots, transform. Excelsior!
All right, and welcome everyone. This is PopXcast, where science fiction meets pop culture. What's up, Austin Burke? How are you, man?
Oh, we had Comic-Con this weekend.
Oh.
And while I was pretty busy and I didn't get to catch it all as it happened, I did catch up, and we have a lot to talk about tonight, Joseph.
Dude, it's a busy night here at PopX Studios. I mean, we have been covering a lot of details. A lot of information's been coming out of San Diego Comic-Con this past week. And we are just like, wow. Some of our minds, we were just like so blown away. And honestly, Austin, might be, can I call it? Can I call it this early in the show? This might be the DC Comic-Con revival.
Ooh.
Do you see what
yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with that? Because
I agree with you.
all the heavy hitters that came out this week
Yeah.
was DC.
Man, Warner Brothers had a weekend. I mean, sometimes studios come in and they have, it's like, oh, you got some good dude, everything was just...
Was it the last podcast where we were talking like, Fox has been putting out all this stuff and all these other production studios, but Warner Brothers hasn't done anything this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of probably see a little reason why.
Check.
They've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we were just like mind blown about.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about this week.
Got
And
a lot, man.
Mike's going to be chiming in and joining us on the camera, so that's going to be awesome. So let's just go ahead and get this thing kicked off, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to PopX, where science fiction meets pop culture. I'm your host, Joseph Burke, Central Florida's seasoned comic book nerd and retro enthusiast. Now, we would like to welcome everyone joining us live here on the PopX.live and Facebook Live chat room. Come hang out with us and join the conversation at PopXcast.com.
And I am Austin Burke, the Appalachian Geek at heart. Be sure to head over to Google Play or iTunes after the show. Click that subscribe button, catch up on some amazing shows from the PopX archive. And while you're there, we'd certainly appreciate you guys showing us some love by leaving us a 5-star rating and review. And if you missed episode 80, can you believe it, Joe? 80 episodes, Ant-Man and the Wasp film review. Check our official website at popxcast.com for this and other great past shows from PopX.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. What a great show that was.
Dude, that was awesome, man.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, you know what? It's Comic-Con. I wish I would have had been really crafty, and if I would have been really witty, had some kind of really cool Comic-Con intro to play for you guys, Comic-Con, Comic-Con.
We're doing it right now, Joe. This is it.
All right, welcome to... No, we're actually going to play the news B-roll. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Comic-Con news is coming your way right here on PopX.
Extra, read all about it. This is PopX News, coming to you live right here on PopXcast.com.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to let Austin Burke start us out this week on the news, as I always do. Austin, I know this one we had to get out of the way right quick, and I know this one hits home for you as well. So share if you don't mind.
So our first topic is called Rest in Peace, John Schnepp, a genuine hero. It's with immense sadness that we confirm that John Schnepp has passed away peacefully on Thursday, July 19th, as the host of Collider Heroes and frequent panelist on Collider Movie Talk and other Collider shows, videos, and panels. Schnepp was a vital and irreplaceable part of the Collider family, and us at PopX and literally everyone else were all deeply upset by this tragic news. Schnepp's passion for art was infectious, and his knowledge, especially when it came to comic books, was legendary. He was a fan first and foremost, and the excitement with which he discussed film, comics, stories, and storytellers was palpable. It was impossible to watch John and not love him. That's who he was, not just a host or a filmmaker, but as a human being. He was kind, generous, gifted, hilarious, and full of verve. And Joe, you hit the nail on the head, man. This really hit home with me. I have been watching this man, this incredible, sweaty, a term that he was one of the first to ever coin for almost 6 years. I mean, he has graced my television computer screen once a week for 6 years. So I grew attached to him, didn't even know him. Now I have connections at Collider, and I know people from there. And hearing the stories, even behind the scenes, not of him on camera, he is literally one of the most generous, nicest, all-around good guys. He will walk up to someone if they're standing by themselves and just start a conversation. And he has so much knowledge, and even the points, and I said this in my, I believe my tweet or my Stardust one, I disagreed with him on some things, especially when it came to, concepts and ideas of movie and even comic books, but everything he said I respected, because the man is very firm in his opinions. And I just love the way he goes about what he is talking about with so much passion, Joe. The guy you could tell he loves superhero movies and comic books and just all around. Even like we talk about, you pull up a comic book and we appreciate the artwork and what goes in behind the scenes. John Schnepp, that's how he was. And he wasn't just appreciating the art. He took part in the art.
Well,
right?
His vast knowledge of just comic book lore in general. The only other person I would put in his category would be Kevin Smith.
Absolutely.
I'm serious, because he knew his stuff, dude.
And Kevin Smith was actually part of his documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, that the two worked together, and they've worked together numerous times.
Oh yeah.
He's a great filmmaker. He's a great comic book. He wrote story. He did everything, man. He did TV shows. The guy just did it all. So there's a void in the movie talk industry right now, and everyone is feeling it. And Joe, I know you liked his work as well, so I want to hear.
I did. Well, even following Collider as many years as I have, a lot of the things that I have picked up on and little like backstories into the creation of some of the characters we know and love today. For example, I think he shared some stories about Jack Kirby, very early in Jack Kirby's works, and I'm just like, some things you normally wouldn't know if you're just watching a YouTube video or you're seeing just reading a simple article about the history of Jack King Kirby. But he shared like personal accounts, personal details, and his passion is what won me over.
Oh, it was infectious.
Because that was just who he was. And so I think it's definitely the internet's going to fill it, the movie world's going to fill it, the comic book industry is going to fill it, and irreplaceable. What else can I say? Irreplaceable. So
the coolest thing that I saw this weekend was Henry Cavill tweeting about John Schnepp, because as big of a Superman fan as he was, somebody that high on the totem pole to recognize talent. And he said in the tweet, even though he may not have loved me in certain movies and what, he still respected the man, because everybody knows that's who he is. So it sucked to celebrate Comic-Con without him, but he will be missed for sure.
Yep, very, very, very true. He even had a panel that was scheduled at Comic-Con this week, and so he wasn't able to fulfill those obligations, obviously, for unfortunate reasons. But All right, so from the bad news into some news now. This is where we're going to stop and spend a little bit of time at least. And then we're talking about one of the heavy hitter breaking news leaks of this week. We're talking about Disney and Comcast and Fox and all of the above. It looks like Comcast has now officially stepped down with the waging war against Disney. Disney later. Disney was set to purchase 20th Century Fox assets and all the Fox film rights and properties, among many other subsidiaries, for a whopping $71.3 billion. Now, Mr. Bob Iger, the CEO of the entire Walt Disney Company, went on the record to say our incredible enthusiasm for this acquisition and the value it will create has continued to grow as we've come to know 21st Century Fox's stellar array of talent and assets, said Bob Iger. Now, all I have to say about this, welcome home to the cinematic universe. Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Deadpool, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and many more great film properties. So let's stop and talk about this for a minute. Now, Austin, when you heard this news, obviously this week, you heard the announcement that Comcast is out. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was waiting on it to happen because you know Disney, Comcast, they put up an effort, man. They did, pat on the back.
They did a good.
Disney's they're not stepping down. And really what Comcast was after, they were after the, what was the British television station? That's what they wanted. So they're going to chip in for Sky, whatever they can have.
Yeah.
What I wanted, and not just, we look at the superheroes, but there's a lot of Fox property. They got Planet of the Apes.
Alien, Predator.
Come on, man.
Simpsons,
what, Disney?
Family Guy.
Imagine this. We're going to be walking around Disney theme parks here in a few years, and there's going to be some aliens and some predators and some Planet of the Apes. Are you kidding me, Joseph? This is not just for the movie world, which I'm sure we can get into here in just a second, but for literally everything. This is awesome. The only thing I hope is that Disney, there's a studio called Fox Searchlight, and they make great independent movies. I want Disney to kind of keep their hold on that and keep it going because it's been going in a great direction. If they can keep those subtle things that may be in jeopardy here, if they can keep those going, I'm not worried about the superheroes because, Joe, they're going to take care of that.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of things to try to unpack during something like this. That the government has to get involved into this, where you have two major media production conglomerates, Comcast, Fox, and Walt Disney Pictures and all this. You have these two massive, because this is going to be a merger that's going to give Disney, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 1/3 of the media market share in the entire world. That's just unreal when you think about. I'm not talking about like all of the film. I'm talking about like distribution-wise, media, production-wise. Disney's going to own a good chunk of all of that. And with that though, I'm looking out for what about the employee who's worked for Fox for 20 years? How is that going? There's things that's got to be figured out. There's stocks and bonds and payouts and things that's got to actually benefit those who's invested half of their life working for a company. So you think about that, and I think that with Bob Iger at the helm of Disney, we saw what he's done many times before with the purchase of Marvel, with the purchase of Lucasfilm, and all these other film properties. I think it's just it's going to be handled with care and delicacy and respect, and I think it's going to be awesome. But for people like us who are comic savvy, who are into comic books, who are into Marvel, and who are passionate about these kind of films and these characters and these storylines, this is going to be a big deal. So yeah, and that's awesome. So we're probably realistically it's going to take about a year now for everything to transition. We could have a Deadpool cameo in Avengers 4. I'm just saying it could happen now. So just I don't know. I'm waving my hands a lot. I don't know what's going on here. My hands are just. I just feel like getting down. Anyway,
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Joe, my question for you is, what is if we get a movie? All right, what is the first Fox product that you want to be integrated as its own standalone movie? Is it Fantastic Four? Is it a Silver Surfer movie? What's
I
your
think
first one?
honestly, once Thanos is eradicated and dealt with in Avengers 4, I think it is at some point to start inserting and teasing a new big bad. And I think there's only one big bad that can even top Thanos. Well, actually, in the comics, he not only tops Thanos, he squishes him like a bug. I'm talking about Galactus. So if we get Galactus and Silver Surfer in there, which would then, we've got this big bad. Well, over at the Baxter Building, there's a certain group of people, Fantastic Four. So you could create all of this just amazing. Oh my God, it's such a dichotomy thinking about it. All the possibilities. And my mind just starts like, I could literally just stay awake for 24 hours thinking about possibilities. That's just the way my can you see this? Can you see what's going on in my head?
I can see the wheels turning. So.
Yeah, they're turning. There's some things going on there. Help me, Lord. All right, so I think it's time we need to move on. We have a lot of ground to cover tonight. We have 5 pages of headlines for you guys.
Yeah.
And this is all from Comic-Con, all right?
Okay.
All right, so Austin, you're going to carry us into the Arrowverse here, I do believe.
Yes, so we got just a lot of stuff. So the Arrowverse, we got trailers released, including The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Black Lightning. Joe, my question to you is, which trailer stuck out to you? And are you caught up on all these shows? Because I'm not.
I am not caught up on Flash and Arrow. I am caught up on Supergirl, believe it or not. And I have like 3 episodes of the DC crossover event that Legends of Tomorrow. I think I haven't even started Black Lightning. So
I've only watched 2 episodes, so I'm not.
I am. There's a lot. We actually talked about this several episodes back about the saturation of the comic book television market. Like, there's a lot to watch. It's impossible because you have Preacher, you have Gifted, you have Legion, you have all of this other stuff. You have Riverdale. It's just impossible for me. Mike, you got something you want to say, my friend?
Mike.
Oh, hold on just a second, Mike. For stupid me, I got your microphone muted. You're fine. Now, all right, Mike, as you were, Mike.
I just wanted to chime in real quickly about some of the trailers and just some of the stuff we're seeing, as far as even the Flash trailer with the Flash ring being pulled right out of the comics.
I was going to say, did you see the Flash ring? That's pretty dang cool.
Pretty amazing. And also towards the end, I guess we saw the new villain, Cicada, for the new season.
Mm-hmm.
I guess really couldn't see who the actor was initially. But just kind of stumbling upon it, I came across this information, which is Chris Klein, the American Pie alum, the played character Oz. He's going to be Cicada for the new villain. I just happened to come across that last night, as a matter of fact. So
wow,
but, that's a nerd nugget.
Yeah,
didn't expect that. I mean, you really couldn't see who it was, but it was. It was a pretty. I mean, I enjoyed the American Pie movies, and he was good in that. So.
Did you get some good ideas from that, Mike?
Oh.
You said you really enjoyed the American Pie movies. I'm like, why? Did you get some ideas from? No.
It was a funny series. Thanks.
Yes, it was, Mike. I made him blush just then. It's all right.
It was.
Thank you very much.
Well, while you're here, Mike, let's talk about the next one on the list here, Batwoman. Now. This was kind of caught a few people in the Arrowverse a little bit, maybe off guard. We didn't know it. We didn't know it was coming out. But Batwoman is teased in the DC crossover event this December, and the deadline is reporting that Greg Berlanti, I'll get it out in a minute, Flash and Arrow is officially working on bringing a Batwoman TV series to the CW. Now, Caroline Dries, that is a Smallville. She's from the Vampire Diaries. Also is writing the potential pilot based on the DC character. Now, Arrow's Stephen Amell announced back in May at the CW upfront presentation the Batwoman would be introduced as the CW's DCU in the fall's crossover now. So she is coming to the DCU. Batwoman, a.k.a. Kate Kane, would be the first openly gay lead character of a live-action superhero show to date. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting because I think it's going to be a very different, interesting dynamic having Batwoman here. And we may get some scenes of Gotham for the first time. So we're having the worlds of Central City and Star City and Gotham City. That's gonna be kind of cool, right?
It's been teased before, but I'm interested to see if they ever are they going to bring in like a Batman into the equation? Maybe in kind of how they did Superman, he's going to pop up and then disappear. What are we doing here?
Maybe
Because it's a possibility.
What's up, Mike? What do you think about it? What do you think about
I
Batman?
thought that's pretty interesting for a crossover and to introduce a whole new series like that to spin off of a crossover. I mean, we've seen, in the past, the last few years that they've done it, where they've come all together, without introducing like new characters. And I think this will be good. I think this may be the closest we'll get to Batman. I'm sure it'll be name dropped and Bruce Wayne and Batman be dropped. But as far as seeing Batman on screen, I really don't think it's likely. I think this is where it's gonna stop right here. But I would like to see. I mean, I'm a big fan of Batman. I would love to see it. Like we saw Superman and Supergirl, but I don't know if they're going to take it that far. It's
well, we do have Superman and Supergirl. So I mean, and mind you, it's not an actor that a lot of us were very familiar with up until this point. I mean, I'm just being respectful, but filling the roles of Clark Kent, that's some big shoes for sure.
Yeah.
So
goodness.
And Bruce Wayne is no different. Bruce Wayne is no different because Wayne Industries is a huge part of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
So continuing on here with this DC news, you see what we're doing here. Lobo is confirmed for season 2 of Krypton as the main villain.
Ooh, okay. This
is going to be fun.
Interesting.
Now, have you watched? Here's another show I didn't even mention earlier, Krypton. I just there's so much out there right now that's impossible for me to watch. I mean, I would literally not even move from the television if I had to watch all these shows. I mean,
well, here's the thing. I have heard great things about Krypton.
Okay.
Everyone that I have heard talk about it, they're like, oh, okay, I went in not expecting anything. And I ended up very surprised with the first season. But to bring in someone like Lobo in a show like that, and I know, Lobo pops up here and there in the comic books, and he was rumored for like a 3-year span of getting his own movie interpretation.
Yeah.
And then The Rock got cast as Black Adam, and everybody's like, oh, okay, well, The Rock's not going to be Lobo. But I like the idea of bringing him onto the television scene because he is a character that I think DC needs to utilize. But on Krypton, that's the interesting thing. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. I think at Lobo being a character, he's almost along the lines of Deadpool. He's kind of, but he's even, I would say a little more sinister and darker than Deadpool. I mean, if that's even possible. But Lobo is an interesting character, and as a matter of fact, he's so interesting that our next episode of PopX, we're going to be discussing origin stories of Lobo and Shazam.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. That is timely.
So that's going to be, so we're going to be talking about that in 2 weeks. Now, you'll hear about that at the end as well. But since we're on the topic of Lobo, you need to know that PopX is doing a Lobo backstory. So we'll get you all caught up on his history and origin story. Austin, you got the next couple there, dude.
My friend, this is, I believe, potentially the highlight of the night. This is what I've been most excited to talk about. We have we have a lot, but we have 2 brand new trailers that dropped during Comic-Con. And we will start with this one, Joe. We got an Aquaman trailer, and Jason Momoa has been teasing this for a long time. This thing dropped. It made a splash.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yo, you're so witty. You are a witty young little one, aren't you? Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm too much. Joe,
one would
how'd you
say
feel
you're
about this trailer?
I was drenched in delight.
Hey, Joseph, I see what you did there.
Oh, my. That's quite thrifty of you. We could just keep that going all night.
We could.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway. So, all right. So we're gonna tell you this is not really a spoiler alert warning. If you don't really need it. The trailer's on YouTube, so go watch it. But Some of the first reactions that I had, and I wish we could play it on here, but I know that our podcast could possibly get flagged for copyright violation, so I'm not going to do that.
Yes.
But we'll just tell you a little bit about it. Some of my favorite scenes was definitely when she, I guess his lady friend or something is taking him down into Atlantis for the first time.
Oh.
And we get to actually see the world that Dory lives in, and it was a beautiful... I think Pixar did an amazing job. I'm sorry, Pixar's not a part of this at all. No, but I think it was really, honestly though, it was beautiful.
It was.
It was beautiful, and some of the characters with like the fins coming out of their sides of their face, and the what was it? The armored sharks and all the stuff that was mounted. I'm like, wow. That's pretty. And you know what I liked? I loved about this, and I'm so glad they did this. The underseen captures of him talking underwater.
Yes.
I'm so glad it didn't sound like, yeah, I'm so glad it didn't sound like he was, he's actually talking underwater and you can hear him, and so I'm kind of glad that they didn't do like a muffled, bubbly effect or whatever, because that would just sound weird. So, but they did it and did it right. And I truly am, this right here, I will say this much, restored my faith in the DCEU.
Preach it, brother.
Because these single films are really impressive. I mean, especially with Wonder Woman coming out and all of that. And I'm so excited to see what they're going to be doing with Aquaman. So.
I loved the integration of CGI and practical effects, because if you saw the creature designs, I mean, you have, and James Wan has done this. I mean, the guy did
James Wan. Oh, dude.
He knows, he's one of the best, not just filmmakers, but producers in Hollywood. So apparently Warner Brothers just likes to ask him questions about their future movies because they're that confident in his abilities to deliver. That's why I have complete and utter confidence in this film. But the trailer itself, Joe, I love the integration of all of the different elements. And I think the thing that I dug the most was the tone. I was really worried, are they going to go too cheesy? Are they going to go too serious? I found just the right balance.
It was a nice balance. It was almost along the same lines as like Wonder Woman. You had moments of comedy, but you had moments of seriousness, and it was well balanced. And I think you get a seasoned director like James Wan. I mean, come on. And so I think they hit the nail on the head with this one. And let's talk about Shazam too, right?
Oh, yes.
I'm a little concerned about the tone of Shazam. Austin, what is your first? I gave the first impression on Aquaman. I want to hear your first impression on Shazam.
Okay, so here's what happened with me on Shazam. So the first time I watched the trailer, I was like, I was excited for it. I'm like, this could be cool.
Yeah.
But I had to sit and think. It was a little, especially when he's doing the dance, and I got a little. Is it too much catering to the millennials? That was my thoughts about it. Is it trying to cater too much to? But then I'm like, well, if a kid gets superpowers, I guess that's how he would act.
Probably.
Because he was acting like kids that I know around that age do act. And yes, it is a little bit annoying. But I started to get on board with the idea. It's very different. And like I said, the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I like the special effects and I like what it was going for. But like you said, the problem for me was it was a very odd feeling. I had to get used to it. Yeah. But after I've watched it a couple times, honestly, Joe, I think I kind of like what they're going for.
It reminded me a little bit. You remember that 80s movie that came out with Fred Savage, Vice Versa? Did you ever see that one? Where him and his father touched this sacred artifact and, he became his father and his father became him. And it was just this weird, it was a crazy, it kind of reminded me a little bit of that. But at the same time.
It had a big of a big with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It felt like Big.
It did. It kind of, it's like, I'm a man, but I'm a child inside of a man's body. And not only just a child, a superhero who is bulletproof, can fly, and do incredible things. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So
I know the suit was very comic accurate. Did you have an issue with, because it looks very padded to me? That's one of my, it's very accurate, but very.
It was very padded. It was, it was definitely had some cottonelle in there.
Yes.
Could have probably, probably used Charmin.
Yeah.
Honestly, could have been a lot better of a more of a bulge.
Ply.
Yeah. Triple action ply.
Very important.
Oh, we're as candid tonight here on PopX.
Yes, we are.
I can't apologize for that. But so, Shazam, Mike, you're coming in here, and you're going to be talking about the next couple of things. But I also want to get your reactions on Shazam as well. While we got you here, what did you think about it?
I'm just gonna start with Aquaman. Then I was running to Shazam. I definitely enjoyed it. I hope this is the saving grace for WB. I hope this is the turning point where the movies will start to get better, and then they released Shazam. Now, it just seems like it just flushed everything down the toilet after seeing that. I mean, I was not thrilled. I watched the trailer and I was going, no, I don't think so. It's like the movie Big fell in a box of comics. That's what I got out of it, and I just was not thrilled with it. I'm going, so
it reminded me of the Bollywood version of Superman. Superman. Super. Sorry, go ahead.
But I'll stick with the Aquaman, and I think I may take a pass on the Shazam unless it gets better. But I just hope the Aquaman, turns things around for WB and the DC universe.
Yeah. Well, I honestly think that it's going to be one of those movies I will go watch. I'll probably be heavily medicated when I watch it because I'm sure I'll enjoy it more. And that's about it. So there you go. Now, Mike, I want to hear your thoughts on the new DC streaming thing that's coming out, the DC Universe streaming. You want to share some information about that as well?
Yeah, I think they got a pretty good service going. Fans looking to experience the first of kind digital subscription service that is DC Universe are one step closer today. Slated for release in fall of 2018, fans in the United States can now pre-order DC Universe at DCUniverse.com for a yearly membership fee of $74.99 plus tax if applicable in your state. Monthly memberships will be available at launch for $7.99 a month. Let us know what you think of the DC Universe pricing in the comments below. Will you be subscribing? I actually signed up for the beta on this. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to be. I haven't officially gotten anything. I was told I was put on the list. Whether I get anything or not is another story. But I'm interested to at least try this out and to see, as far as their shows and even the comics. They said you have accessibility to comics now. Comics on TV would be different to read, opposed to reading them off an iPad.
How did you get into the beta program, Mike?
Well, actually, when it first was announced, I heard about it. I seen it. It was on, I believe, either Facebook or Twitter, and I clicked on it right away. And they said that the beta has just opened. So I jumped on it and I signed up for it. And I got
Is the beta still open?
Yeah. No, as far as I know, I believe it's closed.
Dang.
Yeah, it was only a short time. So I jumped on and I got an email stating that I was on the list for beta testing. Like I said, whether I get it or not, I don't know. It was told to stay tuned, see if I was to get anything else.
Well, the good thing about that, though, is that now that you're part of the beta program, you'll be able to tell us here at PopX all the bells and whistles about the program. So that's kind of cool.
I'm intrigued about this. As far as the price tag of $74.99, I mean, I guess it's trying to compete, with Netflix, but since it's only DC only and their own shows, I can see, the price point. I mean, pricing kind of makes sense, almost like how Disney's going to do theirs, which is like the $4.99 or $5.99 a month. So
well, you say $8 a month. I mean, that's going to be close to $100. So you're actually saving yourself about $10-12 by doing the annual plan. Interesting. And you also we got the DC 10th anniversary set too. Now, what's that all about?
Yes, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. It was just something I just acquired recently.
He actually owns it.
Is this brick right here.
Oh wow.
Dude.
Which is the 10th anniversary of
that's beautiful.
DC animated films. I'm just going to kind of quickly run through it. And
that artwork, though.
The artwork was amazing. This I happened to pick up on Amazon in one of their flash sales.
Wow.
This is all 30 on Blu-ray of all their animated films.
Get out of here.
Wow. And that's just the artwork. And each folder has 4 discs to it.
I'm seeing the discs on the top there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're at the top.
Oh my God, they're killing jokes.
Yeah,
That was a killing joke.
I mean, it's a fairly thick book, and it's got the artwork. It
Now
also comes with.
I have to ask you, Mike, what's the price point for the DC 10 anniversary?
Well,
set?
I actually got lucky on this one. It was on Amazon's flash sale. I got it for $99.
What?
If you buy all these movies separately, it'll actually be over $400.
Dude.
And it comes with a book, which is actually is just a coloring book.
I'm having to pick my mouth up off the floor right now. This is the most.
Yeah.
And a coin set.
$100.
Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Did you get two? Because I would definitely pay you back for another one.
Yeah.
No, I just happened to get one. They're a limited set of 20,000, and it comes in this fancy, box.
Oh my God.
Mike, why do you get all the cool crap, dude? What the heck?
Yeah.
I just happened to stumble across it by accident. I was just happened to be on the flash sale, and there it was, and it was $99. I'm going, and I'm looking, and I'm going, you're talking 30 animated movies, which on an average price is between
$15 per Blu-ray. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the time you add it up, you're talking well over $400. So
Okay.
the only movies it doesn't include is The Death of Superman, and I believe Batman Ninja is the only two that it doesn't include, which were just released this year. So, but it's
somebody's got some thunder going on.
I got on Amazon.
Is it? Did you feel? Can you feel the thunder? Thunder.
There's some thunder.
Can you feel the thunder? Lightning.
Storming, Joe?
Sorry, I'm totally having an imagined drink. All right, so as Mike is cast away into Kansas, we're going to continue on here into the wonderful world of DC. Get this, more DC news. Austin Burt, can you do this one for us?
Oh boy, we're talking Titans, the trailer discussion. So Titan stars Brenton Thwaites. You guys might remember him from Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales as Dick Grayson / Robin. Tegan Croft from Home and Away as Raven. Anna Diop from 24 Legacy as Starfire. Alan Ritchson from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Minka Kelly from Friday Night Lights as, get this, Hawk and Dove. That's pretty cool. Bruno Bashir as Dr. Niles Calder. And Lindsay Gort as police detective Amy Rohrbach. Okay, so Titans comes from executive producers Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, and Sarah Schechter. In the action-packed series, Dick Grayson emerges from the shadows. Oh, yes, he does. To become the leader of a fearless band of new heroes, including Starfire, Raven, and many others. Fans can expect Titans to be a dramatic live-action adventure series that will explore and celebrate one of the most popular comic book teams ever. This series will premiere on the DC streaming service when it launches later this year. Yeah. So I was a huge fan of the Teen Titans animated series, the original, not Teen Titans Go. Interesting fact here, Joe. I'm going to swerve a little bit. I hate the Teen Titans Go television series. I think it's ridiculous and dumb. You know what the movie has on Rotten Tomatoes right now?
What?
100%. Yeah.
Wait.
And everybody's, they're saying it's good. Everyone's saying it's good. Teen Titans Go. I kid you not. This is not a joke. That was just an interesting tidbit. But now we're talking the dark and gritty DCEU version of the Titans team television series. And
Adult.
Joe, I don't know how to feel about this. What were your thoughts on the trailer?
Well, all right. So Teen Titans Go, when it originally came out, we're talking about, what is this, like the early 2000s?
Yes, the original one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the original one. Obviously, that was a little bit past. I was in my 20s, and I had many other things involved in my mind other than watching Teen Titans Go on television. I love comics, but I don't love them that much. And so I didn't really get into it as much. I knew it was kind of a spinoff. It was like the children's version of Justice League. I understand. I get what they're trying to do. In terms of this darker, gritty one, I definitely think they are appealing to the millennials because the people that watch the cartoon are now adults. They have their own families. They have their own lives. And it would make sense for that fan base to follow this new genre, if you will. And I personally, I kind of dug the fact that Robin's got a chip off his shoulder. I think there's a lot of potential there, especially when he does the F-bomb with the Batman lingo.
I like
you can find the trailer. I think also that dynamic can create a lot of other opportunities for Robin's character. If they want to get darker with it, like Red Hood, they can get into. There's a storyline where Robin becomes insane and turns into the Joker for a tenure. So I think I'm just shooting off the top of my head right now, but honestly, I kind of liked it. It would be something I would definitely try to watch. Given it's so hard though, the saturation of the market right now. It's just I mentally can't process another new show, and there's so many awesome shows coming out right now. I know personally, from my perspective, it's going to be almost impossible for me to even catch up to be where I need to be in terms of all the shows that's been out right now. There is a lot going on in the comic book, film, and television world. So I am excited for it. I love the tone of it. I just hope it translates well, and I hope it's not some kind of cheesy Riverdale drama.
Cheesy Riverdale. I like I said, the original Teen Titans, the one that doesn't look like balloon animals, the stupid animated style.
Balloon animals.
I like that a lot because it reminded me more of the DC animated movie. And then Teen Titans Go, the one that we're talking about, I hate. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
I like the concept behind this trailer. I can't get over the fact that it looks like there's a $10 budget. It doesn't look good to me. The filmmaking, the style of it, I like the concept, and I love where they can go with the character of Robin, especially when I know a lot of people are giving that crap, but I'm like, even the Teen Titans, the original, you can tell Robin, he's not happy most of the time. So, but I didn't like the filmmaking of this trailer.
It will be something I watch. Yeah. Just out of the curiosity. So I'll leave it at that. But we're not even halfway done, so we probably need to pick up the speed here. This is crazy. Yeah. All right, so another heavy hitter this week. And Austin, you know a little information on the backstory of this one as well. James Gunn has been fired from Marvel based on some tweets that he made in 2012 that were pretty darn provocative. We're not even going to share his tweets here on PopX because they're pretty bad. They're not safe for work. So if you see an article on the internet, just kind of make sure there's no kids around, because some of the things he said in these tweets are very disturbing. And so I think it's interesting, though, that these tweets were pulled out of nowhere from a history perspective. Austin, what do you think about all this? What's your take? Why now?
I don't understand this. Here's the thing. What he did was disgusting and despicable, and yes. But obviously, Disney, people have known about this for a long time, and Disney had a conversation with him, and they settled it.
Yeah.
The studios that he has worked with have settled this. So to pull these out of obscurity, and I guess the new people at Disney are just like, I don't understand. Somebody has something against James Gunn, because yes, what he did was despicable and disgusting, but people knew. He tweeted it. Do you think Disney didn't go back and look at what I got hired, and the people that hired me went through all of my social media? So do you think a company like Disney is going to hire a man to create a series of gigantic billion-dollar movies and not look at his Twitter page? No. This is weird.
This is a little strange.
Weird.
And I'm sure that we're only just tipping the iceberg of what's going on here. I think something may have been done or something may have been said. He may have been like talking about somebody behind the backs, and someone at Disney didn't like it, and like, oh, okay, it's time to bring out those tweets now. But I do want to say it's interesting. There's been several actors and colleagues who's worked with Gunn over the past few years come out of the hiding and actually, taken up for him. And Dave Bautista, who plays Drax, is one of them. And he said, end quote, "I will have more to say, but for right now, all I will say is this. This is James Gunn's one of the most loving, caring, good-natured people I have ever met. He's gentle and kind and cares deeply for people and animals. He's made mistakes. We all have. I'm not okay with what's happening to him," end quote. So
there you go.
And I think if Gunn can't be reinstated in the role, and there's a petition right now going around for the internet, and it's got hundreds of thousands of signatures already to help get Gunn back into position to finish Volume 3. which I'm okay with. Honestly,
I'm okay with it.
I think if the tweets are removed and he makes an apology about it, I think all can be done and said. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And it does suck though. But I think that the Black what is it, Thor Ragnarok director? I think
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, to Waititi. I think he would be a great substitute for this particular role because he does capture the same kind of vision that Gunn has.
Absolutely.
So, but Gunn's already wrote a draft and for Volume 3, so that sucks.
Sucks.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah, this sucks. But yeah, let's move on to potentially my favorite thing that came from Comic-Con.
All right,
Joe.
so the Glass trailer dropped, and fans around the world rejoice. Now, if you don't know, this is a return of James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and Samuel L. Jackson. These three heroes collide, and it looks like they are in a very special institution that is able to contain these three. One is a brilliant mind, one is a raging animal like a Hulk-like figure lying deep within, and the other one is indestructible, or shall we say, unbreakable.
Yeah.
It is so cool. And when Split dropped with that end-scene credit of Bruce Willis in the cafe, that knew at that moment, oh my gosh, this is a trilogy. He has created a trilogy. Yeah. And so the trailer got me so enthused, so pumped to see these characters. Even Bruce Willis and Jackson back in their roles. I mean, Glass and the hero, the hero and the villain. And the comic book shop is still here, is still going on. Oh my God, dude. I was so excited for this. This is probably the one movie in the entire thing. And no offense to Aquaman or Shazam or Godzilla or any of that. This trailer got me pumped.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just went back and watched Unbreakable last week in preparation for this, and I love that movie. I think it's such an artsy, interesting look, and people didn't appreciate it at the time because I guess they didn't realize it was a superhero film, but guess what it was? Then Split comes along, and I really enjoyed it up to the point to where he's getting shot with shotguns, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? And then you see Bruce Willis. Holy cow, it's an origin story for a supervillain. Are you kidding? So now we have the Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker dynamic. I love where this is going, and the cinematography and the filmmaking.
The one scene where it says, and we have the guy who's incredibly smart, and Samuel L. Jackson's looking through the gears, and I'm like, just the shot on that with the lighting, I'm like, oh my gosh.
And this is coming from the director of After Earth and The Last Airbender. He has come a long way. He was up and then down. And
M. Night Shyamalan has come a long way.
Yes.
Yes, and so he and I think honestly we're seeing that mold come to fruition.
Resurgence.
So, all right, so the next one is I'll share right quick, and then we'll get on in. We gotta have to run through these.
Let's roll. Dude.
So Cloak and Dagger was also renewed for season 2. Now we already knew that season 1 has been amazing and has gotten huge. It's got certified fresh reviews over on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. It is a hit among the Marvel fans, and it's done extremely well. Now this is one show I am watching. I need to finish it up. I got about 6 episodes left of season 1, I think, and I don't think I'm done with that one. But definitely, if you have a chance, the first episode caught me. It was just so well done. And have you had a chance to see Cloak and Dagger yet, Austin?
I have about 6 episodes left of season 1. I can't believe you just said that. Yes, I'm right where you are, man.
Okay. And I like that's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Also here, let's see. Austin, you want to do the next one?
Yes, so the next one is The Gifted Season 2 begins the mutant age. It was confirmed that the comic book group of mutants, the Morlocks, will appear in the new season. Fox, the television Marvel series, picks up after the explosion of the Atlanta station. The mutant underground search for their friends and family who left the inner circle. Having tracked them outside of Washington, D.C., they must contend with new groups with extreme ideologies, both human and mutant alike, to stave off the brewing conflict. Straight from the series San Diego Comic-Con panel, Fox has released the first trailer for season 2. You guys can check it out. Joe, I watched this trailer. I've watched like a lot of season 1, but I haven't finished it up yet. What I've watched was really, it surprised me how good it was.
It's pretty deep.
It's very deep. It's emotional, and it ties into all of these themes that you've always seen within the X-Men. I thought this trailer was pretty good.
And it could easily drop in the X-Men universe as well. I mean, it's 100%. That good. Yeah, and honestly, it's done very well. I think the cinematography is done on the level of like Legion. if you know what I'm saying. And so it's done very well. So continuing on here, we have, this was kind of a cool one that we heard from Comic-Con this week, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're
cool,
coming
man.
back, dude. So Nickelodeon yesterday released the full trailer for the Rise of the Ninja Turtles, along with a full clip of the brand new 2D animated series. Now, this is going to be animation, not 3D. So Rise of the Ninja Turtles reimagines the iconic series and breathes new life into the classic characters, with Jagged Shell's Raphael as a snapping turtle-wielding twin Tonfas, and his weapon, Leonardo, as a red-eared slider using a Adachi sword. Donatello has a soft-shell turtle. He's kind of sporting a tech bow staff. And Michelangelo as a turtle box, arming himself with a Kursai Fundo, which is kind of like the nunchuck version. Along with the For Adventures of the Turtles' most trusted ally, April O'Neil, a street-savvy native and New Yorker, and Splinter, father figure and sensei to the Turtles, all return in the brand new show. So it's a new dawn and a new era for our friends and the heroes in the half shell. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yes, it feels like a return to form. I like going from 3D to 2D, and this is something that I would be willing to check out if it gets good reviews. So I'm excited for that. Our next thing is we're talking Bloodshot, which, if you guys don't know what Bloodshot is, please, it's very cool. The release date was set for 2020 by Sony. The film stars Vin Diesel. You guys know what he's from. In the title role with Toby Kebbell. Get this, the guy who played Koba in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Sam Heughan from Outlander. Eliza Gonzalez from Baby Driver. Michael Sheen from Tron Legacy. Taluya Riley from Westworld. And Alex Hernandez from Unreal. Game of Thrones actor Johannes Hauker? Johannes. Halcor Johansson, has been confirmed that he will play the villain in the film, created by Kevin Van Hook, Don Perlin, and Bob Layton. Bloodshot tells the story of a former soldier killed and brought back to life with technological upgrades, filling his body with billions of nanobots. This allows him to be the perfect super soldier by healing from injuries, shape-shifting, and even interacting with technology. And just the look of this super being, I think, is awesome, and I think Vin Diesel could pull this off. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, Vin Diesel will pull it off without any qualm. I think you think about it, it's like Cable versus Cable meets I don't want to say like a Terminator, but it's a cybernetic version, a cyborg. It's like Cable meets Cyborg.
Yes.
If you think about it. And so this guy, even Deathlock, I don't know if you guys remember the Marvel character called Deathlock. He came out in the 90s. But definitely kind of reminds me of that, cybernetic, self-healing nanobot technology. So I'm definitely kind of excited for that. I definitely will check it out more than likely. It's a Marvel film. Absolutely. Well, not a Marvel, it's a Sony, but I guess technically. Anyway. So the next one we got coming up is the Joker movie release date is set for October 2019. Now, last week, Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment officially announced last week that their Joker origin movie had gotten the green light. Oh, my God. So now the studio has confirmed that the upcoming film, starring none other than Joaquin Phoenix, will debut in theaters October the 4th, 2019, next Halloween, and will supply the simply be titled Joker. That's it. On the release date, the film will go against Paramount's Gemini Man from director Ang Lee and Fox's thriller The Woman and the Window, starring Amy Adams. Now, Warner Brothers is also reporting in the development on a separate Joker feature film, which would also star Jared Leto as the villain, reprising his role from Suicide Squad. So, is it? I'm confused about the duality of two Joker films, saturating the market within the same frame.
A little bit. I believe, so we got one in the DCEU, one outside of the DCEU. Honestly, I like Jared Leto as the Joker, but Joaquin Phoenix, man, this just sounds... An October release date near Oscar season and great people behind it. This sounds really good.
There's only one other actor. There's only one other actor I would consider to be like a Joaquin Phoenix, and that would be Heath Ledger, is a method acting. And I think if Joaquin Phoenix gets in the role and the mindset, he said on an interview with Entertainment Weekly, he said this role scares the crap out of him. Because there's almost 100 years of legacy of villainy here.
Yeah.
And you have people like Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, who have done their versions of this character. So he's going to have to reinvent the wheel, and so to speak, and kind of bring the new life to this. So if Joaquin Phoenix, now I love him in Walk the Line when he did the Johnny Cash biopic, loved that. So. And that's a form of his method acting. I mean, he literally looked and embodied Johnny Cash. So I'm pretty excited for that. So,
yeah, that could be remarkable. And just to fear a role, I believe instills something inside of you. The guy's going to go method with this, and he is, and I think he's going to kill it, Joe.
Yeah.
So our next news segment is The Walking Dead Season 9, the trailer debut. In the wake of the announcement that Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohen will be leaving the show after Season 9, we get a glimpse into the future of the post-apocalyptic world of zombies after the capture and imprisonment of Negan, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So, thoughts on the Walking Dead franchise, you guys, and Fear the Walking Dead.
Right.
What are you thinking of the series, man? What's
I'm
going on?
I'm going to be quick on this, man. I'm starting to really burn out on zombies.
100%. Yeah.
It carried it there for about 4 or 5 years. It was really hot, and now that Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohen are leaving the show, because he's not. Yeah, Rick is not dead in the comics, so I don't. And I'm pretty sure this probably took Robert Kirkman, who is the creator of Walking Dead, probably by surprise a little bit. So now his lead character is gone. How are you going to? He's obviously going to have to be killed. Him and Lauren, or they're going to have to kill each other. That's the only way I know. It's because if you watch the end of the season A of season 8, what is it? The actual end of it. There's a scene where Lauren is talking to Daryl, and you can kind of get the vibe that there's a revolt getting ready to happen within the community. And so I'm just thinking the only way to do it is probably they're going to off each other. They're going to kill each other, and that's going to be it. So.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that. I'll watch it, but I'm not. I mean, I'm just like, okay, this is 9 years, going on 10 years of Walking Dead. I'm just, we're good. Yeah, so Mike is going to come in right quick and talk to us a little bit about some Doctor Who news. Mike.
I just wanted to give a quick rundown of the panel that they had on Thursday. Basically this upcoming season of Doctor Who will be premiering in around October. It'll be simulcasted on BBC America and BBC One at the same air date, exactly the same time. So we should be able to watch that sometime in the afternoon here. Since usually Doctor Who premieres about 7 p.m. over in the UK. There will be 3 companions on board the TARDIS for this season. They're saying during the panel that there was going to be all new worlds, new monsters, new adventures. There will be nothing from previous series. That may be coming up in upcoming seasons, but this year they want to start fresh with new companions.
Go ahead, Mike.
New Doctor. So they also premiered the 13th Doctor's new sonic screwdriver, which was actually a little strange looking, very alien looking.
Now, I heard there's a conspiracy about that. Didn't that kind of get leaked beforehand?
Yes, the BBC is on a witch hunt looking for this person that leaked it out. Yeah, they've done very well trying to keep this all the information under wraps, and somebody leaked it out, and they're after somebody on this one.
Wow.
So also for this upcoming season, there's only going to be 10 hour-long episodes opposed to the 12 44-minute episodes.
Okay.
In the UK, when they premiere a show, they don't show no commercials in between like we have here in the States. They run the complete 44 minutes, so they're going to go a complete 60 minutes in 10 episodes, plus they've confirmed the Christmas special. This will be the first time that the Doctor Who will be filmed in anamorphic widescreen. Which is normally which they don't do. You have the bars in the top and the bottom. They want to have it that more theater-like feel. So this will be the first year it's going to be filmed, with anamorphic lenses. That was a big highlight that they had brought up.
I like that.
And also Jodie Whittaker, the Doctor has taken advice from the past Doctors. And basically, she says, I took all their advice, on how to play the role. She says, but I'm going to do it my way, the way I want to do it. And I give her a lot of credit for that. And that's pretty much it from the Doctor Who panel.
That's awesome. So Doctor Who's getting an anamorphic widescreen. We got Jodie. She's going to be coming in, and she's the first female Doctor incarnation. Cool. So and then we're going to be having full 10 60-minute episodes as opposed to the 12 45-minute episodes. So that's awesome. I dig it. Awesome.
It's amazing.
All right, so continuing on with this crazy world, we have Star Wars. We have the Clone Wars. And this was announced at Comic-Con, and it's kind of sparked a revival within the entire community. And I'm kind of excited for this myself. Sends Galactic Geeks cheering for pure joy. Well, yeah, in the light of the lackluster offering with Solo earlier this year, it seems that Lucasfilm is pulling back a little bit on their solo film efforts and focusing on hits that fans can rally behind. This will be 12 episodes, and it will be awesome. Star Wars, The Clone Wars revival is coming soon. Austin Burke, are you excited for the Clone Wars?
My friend, this was a great series. My only issue with it was there are a little bit too much filler for me, but we have that in Rebels as well. Both series very well done. The Clone Wars movie I didn't love, but when this series started, you get the first couple of seasons, you're getting into the characters, and then they just leave you on this cliffhanger and you're wanting more. But that's a testament to how good the actual show is. They revived this. This has really sparked the Star Wars fans. I like what Lucasfilm is doing. They're bringing back the prequel era 2, which a lot of people are starting to turn around on. Not necessarily the movies, but more of the lore. So I love this call. And our next story, which I'm going to go ahead and get into.
Wait. Before you do that.
Okay.
What was this weekend for you? Was it a special weekend? So we were able... you didn't even know when this was coming, right? You had... So, Austin Burke, you celebrated your birthday this weekend, did you not?
One of my best friends had a wedding, so I was there the whole time. But yeah, I'm
okay. So we actually were able to find some unleaked footage from an archive that was surrounded by heavy guards. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing here is a very young Austin Burke in 1998, and it's just. Let's just soak this in for a minute. Now, didn't see a review for this on Rotten Tomatoes. What are you using there as a microphone? What kind of prop is that? Can you break this down for us?
I told my mother, I said, you're going to save this for a special occasion. She said yes. And she chose my birthday. She put it on Facebook, and now you guys get the pleasure. Listen, I have a lot of songs in my back pocket, though. There are a couple. I got Jesse's Girl, working
Austin,
for. So many songs. I was pretty daggone good, man.
That was the best thing I've seen all day. I think we need to close the show now. No.
I was a fat baby. My Lord. I was a junker.
Well, yeah, you liked the. Never mind. I was going to go somewhere really bad.
Joe, I really,
man.
Dude, I love the. Listen, PopX, this is my home and my family. From me to you guys, I want you to see how, and I still act the same way. And when I hear that song, I like to sing it. I'll just tell you that.
You're a gifted child. Will you tell us a little bit about Lando here, and let's continue on with this.
Keeping up with the Austin Burke is happy trend, Lando, Billy D. Williams, is returning as Lando in Star Wars Episode 9. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that the long gestating rumors that Billy D. Williams will return, they are true. Lando is coming back. He is returning with the franchise with Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, and Adam Driver, plus newcomer and frequent J.J. Abrams collaborator Kerry Russell. Oh, what an actress.
Nice.
Production on Episode 9 will begin at the end of July with more cast announcements likely, Mark Hamill, to be revealed before filming starts. Previously set for May 24th, 2019, the film will now arrive on December 20th. I love the character of Lando. So excited to see him back. Joe, what do you think?
I am excited to see Billy D. Williams reprise his role, and I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, they're continuing on with that legacy of transitioning from the old generation to the new generation, and I mean, you've had some heavy hitters come on in the past couple of films, and I get that, and Billy D. Williams is right there in the midst of that. He's a huge part of the entire franchise. Yes. I mean, he did own the Millennium Falcon after all. So I'm just saying. I was watching a YouTube video not too long ago, actually. It was Mark Hamill, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just kind of done with all of it. I'm just kind of done with the whole thing. And I don't think he was very happy with he was talking about like how his character as Luke Skywalker was portrayed, and he's like, Luke would never do that. Yeah, Luke would never be that kind of guy. Yeah, and like storming off on the island and just being like I don't know. He said that's not Luke. Luke is more compassionate and more, and so I don't think Mark Hamill was very happy with his with the offering that was made in The Last Jedi. So hopefully he gets a chance to redeem himself. So
I hope so. I hope they bring him back.
So continuing on, we're almost done here, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, we've talked an hour and 10 minutes already. So She-Ra, Princess of Power, and this is going to be a brand new series that's coming to you right here on let's see, DreamWorks Animation, I think, is actually doing it. So that's
very cool.
Yeah, that's going to be really rad. And it's going to be on Netflix. So that kind of makes sense. And it's going to be an original series, She-Ra, Princess of Power, as well as it's going to be a fall premiere date for November the 16th, I think, is what they're doing. So it's going to be a story of an orphan named Adora, and that's going to be who leaves behind her former life in the evil horde when she discovers a magic sword that transforms her into the mythical warrior princess She-Ra. Along the way, she finds a new family in the rebellion as she unites a group of magical princesses in the ultimate fight against evil. Insert Hordak.
It feels very He-Man to me, but I like it. I like what they're doing with it.
But if you notice the animation style, though, it's very it's pretty cool, actually. It's my animation is so different from when I grew up. My goodness gracious.
I hope it doesn't cater too much to kids. That's my only worry. I hope it's more of, which, it's DreamWorks, so it could be, it could go down that route, just like a lot of the Netflix animated series do. But I hope it's more of like an adult series. But from that animation style, I love the design of her character. But the actual style, it kind of looks Cartoon Network-y in today's time.
It does. It looks very Cartoon Network-y. On the vein of Masters of the Universe, right quick, Austin, before you go into the next one there, I was at the comic book shop this weekend. So new comic book day came out, and I looked down in the bin, and I noticed this one, and I didn't really know much about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. And that is Skeletor in the background with the Injustice Batman, Superman. I love that. Now, let me show you just one page of the artwork in this. The artwork is mind-blowing. It is so beautiful. And it's also, it kind of reminds me of the artwork that we saw in the old 80s comics when they came out. Because you would get the comic book and the action figure, and you would be able to read about your hero or villain in that.
I love that.
And it's so well done, and it's on your shelf now at your local comic book store. It's going to be a 6-part series. This is book 1 of the 6-part series, and it is going to be a really great one. And I've read the first couple of pages tonight, and I'm really already into it because there's some kind of like time paradox portal that opens up to where the Injustice heroes and villains come out and get to square off in Eternia. So it's going to be pretty darn cool. So check that out.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So the next thing that we have to talk about is pretty important. We've talked about DC a lot, but let's talk about Marvel. Kate Shortland will direct the Black Widow movie. So this is happening after an extensive search by the studio and years of fans asking about the project. The Hollywood Reporter brings word that Australian director Kate Shortland will helm the Marvel Studios' Black Widow movie starring Scarlett Johansson. Shortland's credits include the World War II drama Lore, I haven't seen it, from 2012, the horror film Berlin Syndrome, I did see that, it was really good, from last year. The studio reportedly met with over 70 different directors for the project, narrowing the search down to Amma Asante, who directed Belle, Maggie Betts, who directed Novatiate? I don't know how to, but apparently that's a short film, and they're looking at foreign directors for the most part, which I thought was very interesting. And Shortland, of course, was the last one on that list. Actress turned director Melanie Laurent as well. She directed Galveston, and Kimberly Pierce, who directed Boys Don't Cry and Carrie, which was an interesting film. They were all reportedly in the mix, and they went with Shortland. I love what they're doing with this. They got an obscure indie director in Shortland, but they've done it before with the Russo brothers, and it worked out very well. So I like what they're doing here.
Now I'm curious. Pause for a second. Okay. If they're doing a Black Widow movie, are they going to be going in the traditional MCU style of a trilogy, or is this just going to be a standalone?
I believe what I think is if the first one hits, I'd say they'll do more movies. That's what I think. I'm very Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't perform very well at the box office, so I'm interested to see how a Black Widow movie performs. But fans have been clamoring for it. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm interested to see what direction they go. And is it a prequel or a sequel?
It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk too. It's really not necessary to retell. It's almost like you look at Bruce Wayne. Do we need to really know his origin story anymore? Because his parents die, and Incredible Hulk shot with gamma rays becomes. So I think honestly,
I agree.
Black Widow is one of those characters that, we kind of need to know. We saw snippets of that in Civil War. Or was it Age of Ultron? It's when Ultron. It's when Ultron, had Black Widow and Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch was doing the Majestic stuff, so they were able to revisit their childhood of the scary moments. And we saw her in the house, and where she was. It was a horrible graphic story of what was done to her.
Yeah,
it's pretty. Reminds me of like Middle Eastern type mentality. Some of the things
it could make for a great film, a good concept for a movie.
It really could
be very interesting.
I think so. It would be like. Have you ever seen the series La Femme Nikita?
Yes. And I know exactly where you're going.
Thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's kind of what Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence pulled from that this year, and I think Black Widow could be a combination of the two.
Yep, absolutely.
So that could be great. Yeah,
well,
sure.
Austin Burke, we are down to the final two, my friend.
I can't believe we've.
My mouth is so dry. I keep sipping water. I'm just like, but this one is in my wheelhouse, baby. This one hits home for me.
This is big.
All right, Neil Blomkamp to direct RoboCop Returns for MGM Studios.
Yes.
Boom. So Deadline was reporting that sci-fi director Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9 and Elysium is said I haven't seen that film, is set to direct the new RoboCop installment for MGM titled RoboCop Returns. Now, unlike the previous RoboCop remake from 2014, the new film will actually go back and be a direct sequel to the original based on an unused RoboCop 2 screenplay that they found, that the original writers Ed Newmar and Michael Miner with rewrites by Justin Rhodes. Now, it's they did several collaborations like an Untitled Terminator reboot and Masters of the Universe, which is coming out in a live-action cinematic form as well, on the vein of Masters. But I don't know if, what was this, Peter Weller, I don't know if he's coming back to reprise the role. But his voice is very distinct. For the audio part of RoboCop. So I think if you're going back and doing a proper... Now, this is a RoboCop 2 script that, if you remember, RoboCop 2 is the one where they were doing the drugs and he has to go find Kane, and Kane puts his brain in this body of this robot, and Kane becomes the robot. It was a crazy script, but this was one that was lying around that they just kind of like, wow, this is really good. What if we just like knock the dust off of it and finish it and do a proper RoboCop 2 remake? And you're looking at the actual, this would be the original suit. No word yet on if it's going to be the original. If Peter Weller's on board with this, and he's still up to the point, I think he could probably do it and do it pretty well. He's not that old, I think. But I mean, I'm a huge RoboCop fan. When the first movie came out, I had a toy Ed 209. I mean, I was, the robot with the two legs and the guns on the sides. Amazing. So
that man, this movie, first of all, bringing on Neil Blomkamp, I loved District 9. It almost won the Oscar.
District
for Best
9 was
Picture that
great.
year.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, man. What a cool sci-fi exploration. And it feels like RoboCop should feel.
Yeah.
You know, the 2014 reboot I thought was fine. It wasn't great.
It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary.
Was very unnecessary, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love what they're doing. They're doing this with the Halloween franchise. Now they're going back, replacing 2, 3, and 4, and making it a direct sequel. And RoboCop deserves a great sequel.
On the vein of Halloween, I mean, they're just totally excluding all of like the Curse of the Thorn and all these crazy concepts from 3, 4, 5, and 6, and all the way up to H2 Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. That's all out the door. So this new one is coming out is literally going to be Halloween 2.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's so interesting.
And I think it's cool what they're doing with RoboCop 2 as well. I think it's a fantastic.
Yes. And like you said, Joe, this is right down your wheelhouse. I think this could make a lot of money. I really do. I think this could be a box office explosion. And something else.
Where's my credit card?
Take my money. Speaking of take my money, my goodness. So our final topic is the Spider-Man exclusive on the Sony PS4. This is a themed console, controller, and new details about the game itself. The PS4 combo with the game and console runs at $399. That's $399. The collector's kit with the statue, DLC pack, skins, and more starts at $149. Joseph, are you purchasing this?
I'm not gonna get the themed console because I just purchased a brand new PS4 Pro this past Christmas, so I have the one that plays the 4K. But I am definitely going to be getting the game. Now, what version of the game, I don't know. It's on my radar. And I was looking, there's this collector's edition that's going around. You're getting a Spider-Man statue. You're getting a steelbook collector's case, a mini comic book, the art of Sony Spider-Man video game. So you're getting all kinds of really cool things, as well as DLC packs, skins, suits, 3 extra chapters to play in-game. And you're getting all of that for like $149, and
that's pretty good.
And you're getting what's called the Spider-Man gadget, which is this little thing that's on his chest that comes off, and it's like a little drone. So it's an exclusive DLC, and if you don't get the DLC pack, then you don't get the drone. Basically, and there's one part of the game you will never have. So I don't know which one I want to get, but I'm definitely getting the game. I'm so sold on the graphics and the visuals of this. It's unreal, and
It's the best looking Spider-Man game I've ever seen. It's from beautiful. The trailers, and I love playing Spider-Man games, but this is, open world, beautiful graphics, great villains, everything, the whole package.
Yeah, and there's been so much confirmed for this. I mean, all of the villains are here. The Sinister Six is here. Everything is here. And Venom, I believe, is in this game as well. And so it's going to be great. And I think it's the Spider-Man game that everybody has been wanting for. And it's kind of like Arkham Asylum, but for Spider-Man.
For Spider-Man.
Oh, cool. And I think lastly, the one I don't have on the list, but we're going to actually. Did anybody see the Godzilla trailer?
Yes.
With Billy Bobby Brown. So, what was your thoughts on Godzilla, King of the Monsters? Austin Burke.
Are you asking me? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking Mike.
No.
Well, I thought it was. So here's what I did. I watched it and I'm like, this is not what I expected. So I had to watch it over and over again. I think it's the music of the trailer is what really sucked me into it. And then seeing the reveal, especially of Mothra, I thought was great. Now, the story itself, I'm not 100% sold on, and they really focused on Eleven from Stranger Things. I mean, the focus was very heavy on her.
Billy Bobby Brown.
Don't know. Yeah, exactly. So it could be a big CGI destruction fest, or we could get that emotion that music was pulling towards and especially that reveal at the end, that Godzilla with flying right next to him. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That could be really cool.
I was kind of hoping that they would actually go the King Kong route. And at some point, because they dropped those teasers about King Kong at the end of the other one.
Yes.
So I kind of be like, oh, wow, these two, Monarch exists in the same universe as Kong. That's interesting.
I think the Godzilla King Kong movie is on for 2020. I think that's going to be the next one. Yeah, so that could be even better.
Now, Mike, you are on here to share the final thoughts here, my friend.
Just as far as the Godzilla movie, I was a lot of the different monsters kind of reminded me of, I guess, a modern day, but like a throwback to the old 60s Godzilla where they had all the different variations of the monsters. That's what kind of caught my attention. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I just wanted just a couple final thoughts.
We
from
still
me.
got to do we still got to do the cosplays too. We're not done all the way. So
okay.
Yeah.
If this year, check out season 2 of The Orville, Seth MacFarlane space comedy. It's on Fox.
Great show.
Looking forward to that. This kind of season, they're looking to make first contact, and there's a possibility that Patrick Stewart may return to a bridge of a spaceship. Now, that's been rumor and speculation, so we're hoping for that. I mean, they've had directors like Jonathan Frakes, Brandon Braga, all these ex-Star Trek alumni that have been on board with the show. Has been amazing. And, also, season 2, Star Trek Discovery, check that out. Anson Mount from Inhumans, who played Black Bolt, will be Christopher Pike taking over the Discovery.
That's right.
And they'll be on the hunt for Michael Burnham's stepbrother, Spock. So I don't know how far they'll be able to take that.
I had heard now, you're talking about the Orville, but I had heard also on the Star Trek Discovery that there's going to be some kind of time paradox warp scene, and they're going to be on the board of the Star Trek The Next Generation, and Patrick Stewart was asked to come back as Jean-Luc Picard. Did you hear about that?
I did not, no.
Yeah, so
that'll be interesting.
That'll be, that was what I was reading. I was like, Jean-Luc Picard was asked if he could ever reprise his role, and he's like, yes, I'm all on board with it. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, that's news to me. I missed that one.
Pretty cool.
And Netflix will be dropping Voltron Season 7.
Voltron.
I'm still stuck at Season 3. I didn't even get
past Season 2.
I know. It's crazy.
They're cranking those out too fast.
San Diego Comic-Con has officially closed the con. They've announced next year's dates, July 18th to the 21st. And I'm sure because there wasn't enough time to get it in this year, Zack Snyder will be there with his own Justice League cut next year. I'm still holding out for it.
Yes. There is a Zack Snyder cut somewhere out there that will actually
exists. Mm-hmm.
Well, Austin, are you ready to enjoy some cosplays as we round out the end of the show?
Baby, show me some cosplays, baby. I'm ready.
Well, as we have a little bit of background music here playing in the background of this amazing, I know, and I apologize in advance, but, it is what it is. And so we're just going to, Mike, if you don't care, can you roll aside beautiful bean footage of some of these amazing cosplays here as Mike is giving me the finger? But a good finger.
Just give me 1 second as I load it up.
He's giving me the finger.
All right. So as we're talking here, so one of the big things at Comic-Con, obviously, did you know that Conan O'Brien was there from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Broadcasting live?
His episodes during Comic-Con are some of my favorite talk show episodes of the year.
Yeah.
So good. And as we get into the cosplay, this stuff's incredible.
All right, so we're actually breaking free of what we normally do here on PopX and having a little fun here. So this is the Ice King from Game of Thrones. Let's just take that in for a minute. Well, Darth Maul looks like he just took some LSD drops. Oh man, that's that's a good Hugh Jackman. Look at that.
Pulling that from X-Men Apocalypse.
He actually looks like Hugh Jackman, dude.
He does.
He looks like Hugh Jackman.
Where did
my
these people
gosh.
come from?
I don't know.
It's incredible.
It is incredible.
They're so talented.
What?
Look at that, man.
Why?
Wow.
We have Killmonger. We have Iron Spider. Oh wow.
Look at that, man.
That's pretty awesome.
Good.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Who's the chick with the blonde hair? Is that supposed to be Captain Marvel?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
Somebody.
All right, keep it on here with the old. Oh, now that's Captain Marvel. Yeah, that's
Captain Marvel.
See, now that's some cool cosplay right there. That actually looks like Karen Danvers. Yeah. What is it? No, I have no idea what I'm saying right now. Karen Danvers. What in the world?
Okay.
Is this like Ghetto Thanos meets
if Dr. Doom got the gauntlet, I'd be petrified. So that dude is kind of scary.
Isn't that the end of a dryer vent? I
think it is.
Oh, okay. So is this Tony Ricardo Stark?
Wow, he's even got the
glasses.
The beard.
He's got it cut, man. He's got it going on. Actually, it's really not a bad Robert Downey Jr.
No,
I mean,
not.
It's not
Very well.
at all.
Snot.
Vulture.
I like that. That's the first time I've seen a Vulture cosplay. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Wow, he's actually got he's got LEDs in the fan areas. That's kind of
What
cool.
if it's actually Michael Keaton and he's just doing that to mess with people?
Well, it's not the first time. Did you see what Breaking Bad star Bryan Cranston did? He actually put on his own face and walked around.
I thought that was fantastic.
Oh my God! So
I love
continuing on here, we have X-Force.
Oh,
okay.
That is.
I kind of like that Deadpool costume.
That's a cool looking. Looks like a goalie a little bit. He's got the yellow Deadpool mask.
It
cool.
kind of does look like a goalie a little bit. Oh boy.
Is that a Predator?
No, that's Darth Vader, dude. Wait a minute, Mike. We gotta. What in the world?
I'm confuzzled.
Wait, he's got LEDs around the eyes.
That's pretty cool, though. You know what?
I mean, you gotta give him an A for effort. I mean, how many things can you find lying around in your daggone garage? Well, my grandma's scooter isn't being used right now, I guess.
According to him, a lot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next.
What's next?
Megatron.
Megatron.
That was actually really good.
Thank you, man.
That was really good. That's
actually pretty
not
accurate
bad.
to the 80s series.
He has to be a stilt walker because he's 8 feet tall.
Oh yeah, that's pretty big.
Wow, that's impressive.
Dig that.
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. That's accurate too.
I like the cape. Look at the cape, man.
We're getting better.
Yeah, we are getting better actually. Oh.
Okay.
We were talking about Batwoman earlier. This is Batgirl.
Okay.
Nice.
Very comic accurate costume.
Oh, bring out the holy hand grenade. We have
cool.
we have Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Bring
out the holy hand grenade. We are the knights who say knee. Can a swallow carry? Oh man.
Is that a person?
That's a person.
That's a person.
It's the oh boy.
Person is an Infinity Gauntlet. That's pretty cool.
I actually saw this on Marvel's Instagram. They retweeted this with the zoom feature. You know, the dun.
Yes.
And it's just like overnight. Yeah. Okay.
That's.
I dig it.
Weird. Cool.
I guess they're going to be ruling the galaxy.
Is that the last one we had?
That's it, man. That's all we got.
That's it. Okay.
That's it. All right.
Well, we end with the gauntlet. Yeah, Joe, Comic-Con is an amazing place with some amazing people. And even the ones that I didn't love, I still have to say, they tried really hard.
Yeah, they tried hard. And it's amazing. I think some of the cosplayers, though, do an amazing job. In all respect to them, because that is their art, that is their passion, that's their hobby, and that's what they're good at.
Prepare the whole year. I mean,
prepare the whole year. Yeah, they spend years crafting this. Well, guys, this has been an hour and a half episode of PopXcast. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, we are so sorry that you didn't get to see some of these slick-looking pictures of the cosplayers.
Just imagine.
So if you're listening to the audio version, go over to popxcast.com and watch the video live stream, and that way you'll be a part of this, okay? So you ready to wrap this up, Austin Burke?
My brother, what a show. This was a Godzilla-level show, if you will. I am Austin Burke at The Burkinator. Just search and find me. I'm on YouTube watching as many movies I can cram in one possible week. Thank you so much for this show, Joe. I thought this was a massive task to take on, but we covered every topic in an hour and a half, so that's pretty impressive. It was the plan. I didn't think we could accomplish it, but we're right at that hour and 30-minute mark. And if I keep talking, we're going to go over it. So we are part of an amazing network called the Gonna Geek Network. For all things even more geeky, head over to GonnaGeek.com and check out some amazing podcasts on our home network. Also, connect with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and Pinterest, all at PopXcast. Send us some comments and suggestions via email at popxcast@gmail.com. And for future and past shows, visit our official website at popxcast.com. And if you guys are watching us not live, be sure to go over to Facebook when we are live so you guys can comment in the chat room. We love to have you guys on as we are doing this. And I want to thank Joseph Burke once again for being an awesome host, man. You did great tonight. We nailed the show.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a labor of love. Honestly, it's a labor of love. And I love doing this, and I love these shows. So I really do appreciate that. That's really, really nice of you to say such wonderful things about me. Even though you don't really mean it, but I'm just joking with you. Just walk away.
I just walk away,
Mr. Burke.
Walk away.
All right,
bro.
so I am Joseph Burke, a.k.a. at Joseph Burke Arts, all over the internet. And, of course, hats off to my amazing Team POPX, who does a phenomenal job. They are the brains and the brawn of the show. Without them, I am nothing, and we are nothing as a podcast. And I want to thank Mr. Mike Ippolito just for hanging out with us on this amazing Sunday night and sharing his stuff. Oh.
Did awesome. You're
Well,
welcome, Mike.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Star-Lord. So I think secretly Mike has wanted me to call him Star-Lord. I don't know.
I think that's his new nickname. He is now Star-Lord.
Join us next time on August the 5th. That'll be in 2 weeks from tonight. And we'll be doing episode 82, Origin Stories of Lobo and Shazam. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. And we'll see you next time right here on PopXcast. Get your geek on.
From everyone at PopXcast, thanks for listening. Please make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/PopXcast, and click the follow button to get our live stream notifications. Drop us an email, popxcast@gmail.com. Be sure to check out this and more great content on the Gonna Geek Network at GonnaGeek.com. Get your geek on!